Yeah, please. All right, we'll start the session and more people can join in the middle. Um, Again, very welcome to all of you. Thank you again for joining in for this webinar. Our today's webinar is on the art of possible with generative AI. Build your own GPT. Hopefully everyone has got their coffee still warm and ready. So let's get started. And my name is Rish. I'm an AI scientist at CeADAR, which is Ireland's Center for Applied AI and a European Digital Innovation Hub. I'm joined by my colleague Joshua, who will be helping all of you in your questions in the chat throughout the session. So if you have any questions coming up, feel free to post them, and Joshua will be answering them right away in the chat. So today we'll learn everything about custom GPTs, what advantages they offer, and with a demo session, we'll get to see how to even build these customized GPT. And this session is made possible through CEDAR's ADIH for AI program, supported by Enterprise Ireland and European Commission. We'll see the agenda for today. So that is going to be the agenda for our meeting. Uh, I'll give a step-by-step walkthrough as to what we will be accomplishing in today's session. We'll start with a very quick overview of ChatGPT's custom GPTs and what you will need in place to build your own custom assistants, especially for extracting data insights in a very plain language. Next, we'll discuss all the unique benefits as to why we need to build these GPTs. And then we'll be having a walkthrough of configuration, and then we'll be creating our very first bot. I'll show a hands-on demonstration of setting up a custom GPT. We will be seeing two demos. One is, as you can see on your screens, a support chatbot, and then a data analyst assistant uh, in today's use cases. So after the guided demos, we'll open up the live demo session for any specific questions you may have or any scenarios you may want to discuss. So we'll wrap up the session with a few key takeaways, limitations of these customized GPTs, and then we'll open up the floor for a few questions. Now, just a general disclaimer for everyone, all the trademarks, logos, brand names mentioned in today's module, they are property of their respective owners. We are not using any real service names, product or company names. We've all used an artificial data set as well, fictional company name. So any resemblance to that is purely coincidental. So I'll give a brief introduction of what these custom GPTs are and what prerequisites are to set up this. So custom GPTs are personalized AI assistants you can easily create without any coding. They let you tailor the AI to handle specific tasks, to speak your industry's language, making it smarter and more useful for your needs. Before we start building these, it is important to know that a few things are required. One is a ChatGPT Plus or an enterprise account to access the GPT Builder. This feature is not available for the free accounts. So if you want to start building your own GPTs, you might want to upgrade your plan to either a Plus account or subscribe to an enterprise account. And then the next thing that is important is a clear idea of what we want to achieve with our GPT, what tasks it should focus on, any helpful documents that we may have, data, existing data, or examples for our use cases, so that our GPT can learn from those as and take it as a reference. And then lastly, we need to have a basic understanding of data privacy to make sure we are handling all our data and user files safely. So once we have all of this ready, we're all set to create a custom assistant that will work just the way we need it to be. So I'll just give a few advantages of as to why we need to build these custom GPTs. What advantages do we get from building these GPTs? So let's talk about how can it be a game changer for your business and for your productivity. So building a custom GPT offers several key advantages, such as the specialization lets you tailor the model to your own industry or domain, which means you will be delivering more accurate and relevant responses into your day-to-day cases. So secondly, it enhances the productivity by automating repetitive or time-consuming tasks. So that can free up the time for higher value work. Third is custom GPTs can connect to live data sources through APIs and databases. So that can provide you real-time information and keeping answers current and fresh. And then fourth is we have full control over the GPT's personality, the tone, the behavior, making the interaction with the GPT much more engaging and suited to our own specific needs or maybe to our own specific brand. And then finally, last but not the least, it scales very easily, maintaining very much consistency, high quality communication, even if the usage grows. So these custom GPTs, they empower us to create focused, efficient, and scalable AI solutions tailored to our needs. Much of these capabilities we are not able to gain through the typical version, the free version that we use, which is why we are on to learning these custom GPTs and how they can be advantageous for us. So what I will do now is I'll show a step by step in the next slide on how to build that. Uh, we'll follow a very simple and straightforward approach. So I'll try to summarize that into a very 5-step process on how we can build that. Followed by this, we'll also take a look at the live demo where we will see a practical demonstration of how we can actually build one. So now the step one is obviously we need to start a new GPT project. Right now, we are only seeing the bullet points, but it'll get clearer when once I show the screen, and then we'll head to the practical demo. So we'll go to the GPT builder interface and then we'll click on GPT. We'll fill in all the required information like description, purpose, etc., etc. The next step that comes up is configuring its personality and giving it instructions and behaviors that it could follow. So maybe I'm building a custom GPT as a data analyst assistant. So I need to give those traits, those skills to that GPT. Or maybe I'm building a support bot. When I'm building a support bot, I need to keep the tone very much polite, much more customer centric, so that it can serve the purpose very well. So in that, what we basically do is in the instruction section, we define the assistant role. So we'll tell the GPT that you are a helpful GPT data analyst, you are a customer support bot, or whatever the use case may be. And then what we do is we upload our documents so that the GPT can actually refer to these documents, enhance its knowledge, get those capabilities. In this step, we are basically giving ChatGPT the knowledge before it can actually start answering the questions. So for any other use case, we need to give GPT the specific domain knowledge before we start asking any domain specific questions. Um, and then we could also give some examples to the GPT. Like these could be the sample questions, these could be the sample answers so that it can learn more and more and it can address those questions very well in the real world scenario. And then thirdly, if you see the point, which is specify boundaries. So this is where we are configuring the GPT that it should not do certain things. That again depends on our specific use case. It could be do not, as you can see the example, do not make up for data or give financial advice. So here we are restricting the capabilities of GPT, or we are putting guardrails so that it can follow our instructions very carefully and not to do anything that we do not want the bot to specifically do. Third is enable file upload capacity. This I've already talked about that in the builder toggle. We can upload files. We could upload CSVs, Excel files, TXT files, presentation decks, PDFs. So it supports a lot of different file extensions. These files, the reason that we are uploading these files will be to let the ChatGPT gain knowledge from these, read them, analyze them, and this will become part of GPT's knowledge base. So any questions that we might ask, these documents will be referred to before GPT gives any answers. So, and if you see third point, this is again an optional thing, which we can add fallback instructions for unsupported or mal-informed files. We can let the chat GPT that it can serve specific purposes or it may not serve specific purposes as long as the instructions are clear. So whatever files that we are going to upload, we need to keep all instructions very, very clear. We'll see that again into the live demo session. Fourth, is testing user interaction and refining the bot. So once we've already, set up everything, configured everything, then, we'll start going to testing our bot. So we can test depending on what use case we set this up for. For example, as you can see, what trends do you see in the uploaded data set? We can refer it back to real world use cases. For example, I've already analyzed a file and then I have created a data analyst bot. And now I'm asking the same questions and matching those responses with the actual outputs that I already have. So this will give me a good way to compare the results. And I will also cross check whether the GPT has been configured properly or it is working as expected or not. So this is just, user interaction and testing phase. And then at the fifth stage, what we are going to say is publish and share. Now that we have built our bot, we need to publish it and share it with respective stakeholders who may interact with the bot and then start using it. So it is very easy. Once we've created the bot, we just publish the bot, we set the privacy controls. It is just like sharing a Google document where you can control if anyone has a link can access it or specific people where we can specify the email and then only those people will be able to access the bot. So this is all the 5-step process of building the bot. Now what we are going to do is I'll start sharing my screen and we are going to see a live demo of creating a custom GPT. Joshua, if you could just confirm my screen is visible or not. Joshua, can you confirm if my screen is visible or not?
Not yet.
Okay, I'll try it again. Can you confirm now?
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay, perfect. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the interface of ChatGPT, and then we're going to go here, navigate to GPTs, and then we're going to go to explore. We'll give it a couple of seconds to load. Sometimes it loads up instantaneously, and sometimes it takes a couple of seconds. So you just wait for a couple of seconds until it loads. And here you will see sections for my GPTs and then the create section. We are going to use this create palette. You could already see some of the examples. I would highly encourage all of the participants after the end of the session, please go and explore what kind of different GPTs there are available. Uh, you never know, some might, be already have pre-built that you can directly use for your own use case. So what we're going to do is we are going to click on create. And then this is the configuration panel that you would see. Again, as I highlighted earlier, that you are going to need a pro account for this one, a ChatGPT Plus account or an enterprise account to do that. So we can see a couple of fields here: name, description, instructions, conversation starters, knowledge, recommended model, and then some capabilities. We're going to take a look at this step by step. And in this demo, we are going to create two different GPTs. So first GPT that we are going to create is a support bot that is going to address customer care queries for a fictional company that we have created, which is TechVibe Electronics. So once we have created this GPT, we are going to give the custom link to all the customers, and then they can interact with the bot and ask any customer care or any questions regarding the company, their privacy policy, return window, etc., etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a Word document here. Joshua, can you confirm if that is visible?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So I have already pre-created all the details that we might need to feed into this custom GPT. So we have the name ready, we have the description ready, conversation starters, the model, the capabilities. And then starting from here, instructions, I will not go and then list on all the instructions, but we're going to take a look at few of these just so everyone can get an idea that what we are going to achieve with this bot. So if you see identity and purpose, we are telling the bot, you are Eric, your name is Eric, you are a polite professional chat assistant for tech vibe electronics. Your mission, uh, answer support Q&A strictly from the company's uploaded documentation. Here we are being very, very specific and explicit that you need to answer the Q&A strictly from the company's uploaded documentation, which we are going to upload in a while, and help users resolve issues or find the right next step. Scope and grounding, authoritative source, only use information you can find in the docs. Again, we are being very explicit that do not create information or data on your own. Only use information that we upload, that you can find in the uploaded documents. No outside knowledge. If the docs don't cover it, say so, and offer next steps. Escalate, contact support, etc., etc. Show escalation email if required. No specific speculation or hallucination. Never invent policies, prices, features, timelines, or legal guidance. Again, tone and style, friendly, concise, and helpful, and so on and so forth. So I'll just read the headers for now. Conversation workflow, when information is missing or out of scope, uh, personal identifiable information, and GDPR. We are being specific if a user shares PII, full name, phone address, email. Just tell them that to not share these information, customer complaints, escalation, etc., etc. So we have all the instructions, whatever we need to tell the bot. So think of it similar to, if I'm hiring a customer care agent, I'm going to be telling the same information to a real employee, right? That this should be your tone, you need to find the information from here, that's how your conversation should flow, that's our PII and GDPR policy, etc., etc. So let's go on to creating this bot using this information here. And Joshua again can confirm if the configuration pane is visible or not.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is give it a name, support tech vibe electronics, description. Again, I'm copy pasting the information from our Word document just to save everyone some time. And then conversation starters. And on the right side, you will see, as I'm adding the information on the left side, you will see the GPT preview is giving me a very nice display of what my bot, of what my custom GPT is going to look like. So you can see the name, you can see the description, you can see the conversation starter as well. Hello, I'm Eric. How can I help you today? And then I'm going to configure the model. Again, that is up to your use case. You can test with multiple models, but for this demo, we are going to be using GPT-4o as the model. And then capabilities, again, as we want the bot to only display information, to only address questions from the documents that we are going to upload, we are revoking all these capabilities such as web search, canvas, image generation, and code interpreter analysis. We don't need any of this information for our bot to have. So if we see, we have only two sections that are left. One is the instructions, and then the other is the knowledge. So we haven't given any knowledge to the bot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on upload files, and then I'm going to upload all the documents that we have. Again, the documents that we have here, they are all very fictional documents. They were all, they does not pertain to a real company. Um, and as you can see on your screen, I have uploaded approximately 7 documents. You can see privacy policy, return and refunds, product catalog, etc., etc. So before I go any further, I'll just give a quick overview of what this document is, just so everyone can get an idea as to what information we might be holding up in these documents. Joshua, can you confirm if the Word document I'm sharing is visible?
Not yet.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So this is again a very sample document, as you are seeing. This is a terms of service document, very dummy, fictionally created by GPT itself. Um, so think of this, as your own knowledge base. If you are, running a business or a firm, you might have your own documents. And this is basically what we're all going to upload. So again, back to our main screen. You can see all these 7 documents have been uploaded, from warranty to GDPR compliance, terms of service, product catalog, return and refunds, privacy policy, and FAQs. And then this is what we intend the bot, this is what we intend the GPT to access information from these. It's going to analyze all these files, read everything there is, and then whatever we might ask the GPT, our answers will be grounded from these documents only. So again, the last section that is remaining is the instructions pane. I'll quickly copy paste that from our initial documents. Just a second, copying, pasting it. All right. So I'll just maximize this bit. So you can see the system prompt. Again, we have already seen that in a Word document. We are just seeing that one more time here in the configuration palette itself. So conversation workflow is we are defining how this GPT should actually work. Understand the query. If ambiguous, rewrite the user question in your own words and ask 1 to 2 targeted follow-up to confirm the intent. Search the documents, locate most relevant passages, provide a direct step-by-step answer grounded in the docs. And then we're also adding one more node, which is teach, add one short tip or pointer. You can also find this under settings, warranty, etc. So these are all, again, the instructions that we want the bot. And you could see guardrails and prohibited behaviors. This is, again, very interesting. If we just care to read, which is do not access or cite sources beyond the docs. Do not guess SKU availability. Do not request or store PII. Do not execute transactions, issue refunds, or change account data, etc. So with this, our instructions are all set. And this is again an optional thing. You can see the logo. If I want, I can upload a photo just to make it more customizable. I already have a photo, so I'm just going to upload this one. Again, we can access the DAL-E model, and then based on the data that we have uploaded, it can create a logo on the fly here. So you can see a very nice logo that I just recently uploaded. Um, and just making sure if everything is ready. We have the name, we have the description, we have the instructions, uh, we have the knowledge, the model, and then I think we're all ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this GPT, uh, and then maybe I'll give it name demo one. Yeah. So we'll give it a few seconds, and then I'm going to hit on create. And you can see that now I get the access palette here, which is who do I want this GPT to be shared with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on public, anyone with the link, and then all the GPTs that we're going to create after the end of the session, you will receive the links. So all of the audience, all of you can interact with these bots. And then anyone with the link, and I'm going to click on update. And this may take, again, a couple of seconds, not too long. So we'll give it time. All right, perfect. So as I can see that our custom GPT is created. Let's take a look at this and try to interact with this. So now let's see the use case is I am the customer of TechVibe Electronics. This is a fictional company that sells electronic products, cell phones, laptops, peripheral computer hardware, etc., etc. It's an e-commerce store. I am their customer, and I've been shared this link that if I have any questions, any queries, I can just talk to the support. So maybe as a customer, I'll just say, what is your refund policy. And then what it's basically doing right now is whatever documents that we have uploaded while creating this pod, it is going to search our queries, matching with all the documents, and then it's expected to provide us a response. We'll give it a couple of seconds. Again, this can sometimes take a bit longer, depending on how big our documents are. And again, the query wasn't specific. I just asked the bot that, what is your refund policy? So it may be finding all the information related to this in all of these documents, which is why it is taking a bit longer. And sometimes one important thing to note that here is whenever we create a new GPT, sometimes the GPT will be created, but its capabilities and its features might not be available. So on your screen, you are seeing that we have created this GPT, it's available, but the documents that we have ingested, they may take a bit longer. And I've tested that a couple of times as well, which is why what we are going to do is, since it is taking some time, we already had a similar pre-built bot that we are going to use over here. And we can try to ask. Yep. So you can see that I asked this bot, tell me about your product catalog, and then it is showing me smartphone and tablets, laptops and computers. All the information that you're seeing on your screen right now, this is coming from the documents that we uploaded while creating this custom GPT. So again, we are getting all the product catalog, the pricing and all the other information. So maybe if I ask the question, and I suppose that the original query that we asked about refunds might be generated by now. So yeah. So you can see that, what is your refund policy? We can see most products can be returned within 30 days of delivery, etc., etc., etc. So this is about the first use case that we have. We can again ask as many as questions as we want, and then maybe I can ask it, uh, how is my data stored? What GDPR policy do you have? And then it can give the relevant response. So now you can see it is not taking much longer time. It is giving the answers right away. So all this information is from knowledge base. We uploaded 7 documents, including privacy policy, GDPR, product catalog, and so on and so forth. So all these responses are coming from those knowledge, and our answers are grounded in that. And again, we already added a query that, do not give any other information. So if I ask any funny, query outside the scope, it generally would not try to address it, but we can just always, can you talk about Mars and Jupiter? So you can see that, if we ask the same question to ChatGPT, it would have given a response. Why? Because it is trained on a very generalized data set. But in this case, we have already put the guardrails that anything that is outside the support realm to not answer that question, which is why when I asked the spot that, can you talk about Mars and Jupiter, it says, I can't help with that. My role is to support only topics covered in tech vibe electronics documentation. All right. So with that, I will conclude the first demo here. And if again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to post that into the chat, and my colleague Joshua will be addressing them right away. And then now let's jump into the second use case that we have. We'll again go to Explore GPT section. Uh, we'll go into the Create section. And I hope everyone has gone very familiar with this pane right now. So let's take a look at the second use case, what we are going to be building. So for our second use case, we are going to be building a data analyst assistant bot. This is built imagining a scenario that I'm a business owner and I want everyone in my organization to take help from a data analyst assistant bot, from CEO to all the analysts working in my company. And what the intention basically is that they can upload the files. This data analyst will have the capabilities of any other data analyst one might have. So it'll have knowledge of statistics, it'll have knowledge of creating bar charts and graphs, it'll have knowledge of cleansing the data, pre-processing the data, finding insights, patterns, and so on and so forth. That whatever a data analyst, whatever capabilities a data analyst may possess. So we are going to give all these capabilities to this bot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again share another Word document that we have already pre-prepared. Joshua, can you confirm if that document is visible on the screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Right. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, perfect. So very quickly, let's take a look at that. Name, data analyst, Tech Vibe Electronics. Again, same company, a fictional company that we have created. Description, a data analyst built for everyone in the company. And then in the instructions, I'll just read a few pointers here. It's in a paragraph here. um, you are a data analyst, your job is to do this. You can create executive summaries, you can compute KPIs, you can read files such as PDF, CSV, etc. You have statistical knowledge for hypothesis, ANOVA testing, correlation, interpretable models, etc. So without discussing much technical jargon for a data analyst, I have given all the instructions I can uh, to tell this bot that are a data analyst, you have these capabilities, your knowledge is limited to these sides. And again, if you see the recommended model capabilities, image generation, code interpreter, and data analysis, and we already have a few questions ready. So let's go on to creating this bot, and I'll share my screen one more time. Joshua, can you confirm if we can see the configuration pane?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we'll give this a name, data analyst, Tech Vibe Electronics demo 2, a description, and then I'm giving instructions for the bot. And just so everyone needs to be aware, these instructions have a character limit. I'm not aware of the exact number, but it has approximately 80,000 character or somewhat limit. So make sure whenever you're giving instructions, they need to be very specific, very precise. And if we are giving too much lengthy paragraphs, it might just not take them. So conversation starters. This is again, how we want the conversation to start. I'll just give it a very natural line. Hello, how can I help you today? And then recommended model. Again, it's up to all of us what model that we want to use depending on our use case. But for again today's demo, I'm sticking to GPT 4.0. And then capabilities, I'm not giving web search capabilities, but I am giving all the rest of three capabilities. One is Canvas, to generate canvas image generation so that it can generate images of graphs and charts, and then code interpreter and data analysis, because this is a data analyst GPT. So I want to give this capability to this GPT. So everything is ready for now. And again, here's a logo as well. Let's use DAL-E model, and then we'll give it a couple of seconds. And then based on the information that we have fed so far, it is going to create a logo for this bot. The only step that is remaining at this stage is the knowledge one. So let's take a look at what we might be adding to here. So far, you have seen the description and instructions, but you have not seen the knowledge the bot must possess. So I'm going to quickly share that with all of you. And on your screen, you can see this is similar to what we did for the first GPT as well. We are defining the mission and scope. We are telling the GPT, you are a tech vibe electronics data analyst GPT. You turn uploaded files, Excel, CSV, Google Sheet exports, Word docs, text-based PDFs into clean analysis, clear visuals, and practically statistically sound recommendations for an e-commerce business selling smartphones, laptops, desktops, and power stations. Inputs it can handle, uh, core KPIs, statistical analysis it can do, central tendency, mean, median, mode, dispersion. Again, this is up to me what statistical knowledge I wish this GPT to have. I can go on and add more, or I can remove more. This is totally in my control, and that is one of the advantages of building own GPTs, that it allows us to have these capabilities that we can fine tune and create GPTs for our use cases. So again, we are skipping all the statistical jargon here. We are giving time series and forecasting capabilities as well, for experiments and business tests as well. We are giving some scenarios, and then we are using causal and quasi experimentation here, and then missing data robustness as well, visual standards as well, heat map, trend line, column bars. Again, these are all the visualization capabilities this GPT uh, must have, so that it can generate all those graphs and plots. And then lastly, let's take a look at these a few important ones. Interaction rules. Again, no hallucinations, never implement columns or data, minimal blockers. If uncertain, proceed with explicit assumptions only. Two-layer output. Executive summary for decisions, technical appendix for methods and data. Uncertainty everywhere it matters. Effect sizes, p-values, forecasts, intervals. PII safe. Aggregate by default. Use IDs, hashes if needed. Again, a privacy aspect that we have ingested here. A very important one here, quality checklist, because we want our data analysts to build quality responses. So time window, time zone currency, it needs to account for that. It needs to account for KPIs, cleaning rules, visual labels with key takeaways, output templates should be like this, executive summary and technical appendix. So we have all these, instructions here. Again, after the end of the session, we are going to email this to all of the participants so you can have a closer look. So I'll close this file. We have all the instructions, all the capabilities, mission scope, the way it needs to handle input, the way it needs to deal with all the scenarios. I'm going to close this file, and we are going to feed this file to our bot. So and what we're going to do is we are back on the configuration pane. The only step that is remaining at this stage is knowledge. So if you see one difference, in the earlier bot, we uploaded all the instructions here, and in knowledge, we upload all the policy documents, etc. But in this case, we are uploading all the instructions here. Why? Because it is above a certain limit, and we cannot have all that into our instructions pane because that has a certain character limit that it can process. And again, as a data analyst, the knowledge that it must have, we already have that into the document. And then I am uploading that file. Once that is uploaded, we'll just do a sanitary check before we create this bot. Name, description, instructions, recommended model, canvas, image generation, code interpreter, and data analysis. So far, everything looks good. So let's create this GPT as well. And then anyone with the link, and we'll give it a couple of seconds. Once this is complete, we are going to have an interaction with this bot as well. Okay, it's created. Let's go and take a look. So you can see everything that I created, the name, the description I could see here. And what I can do is now, because this is a data analyst bot, so I am uploading a file. So let's say, I already have a data set pre-created with me. In this data set, I have a couple of files. So let's take a look at what files do we have. So Joshua, can you confirm um, if the file section is visible?
Yeah, we can see the files.
So you can see customer CSV, order CSV, products, returns. So this is just a sample data sets that we have. This is again a very fictional data set. I'm going to upload one to two of these documents, and then we are going to query based on these documents and see what analysis, insights, patterns this data analyst GPT can draw for us. I'll share the GPT screen one more time, you, and then let's upload a file. I'll upload this file products.csv. And I'll maybe ask, give me product analysis along with an executive summary. So as you can see, I'll expand this table so everyone can see what this file has. We have product IDs, SKUs, product names, some cell phone data, laptop, peripheral hardware, etc., etc. And now it's taking some time to analyze this file. The question that I've asked is, give me product analysis along with an executive summary. So we'll give this bot a couple of seconds. And the reason it might be taking this much time is we have given lots of instructions into our input file. If everyone remembers, we had some guardrails, we had some capabilities, we had the workflow, how it needs to analyze the file. So now we can see that it has prepared a very nice executive summary for us based on this file. Executive summary, product line analysis. We have the goal. Again, this was listed into our initial knowledge prompt that we ingested in the bot. So it has given some very nice key findings here. One is smartphone and mobile is the most populated category, 9 SKUs, followed by laptops and audio. We can see some pricing insights as well. Desktop lead with the highest median price, $1899.99, followed by laptops, and some recommendations as well, risks and assumptions. So it has taken some decisions on its own as well. If you see risk and assumption settings, weight and warranty data assumed to be clean, no outliers removed. Refurbishment analysis is binary only, no quality or return data was provided. Some recommendations as well from our data analyst GPT as well. And again, it is asking me, do I want a PDF report, an editable presentation deck or not? So let's upload one more file uh, and then see what it can generate. So I'll upload this file, maybe warranty claims, just to see, what different aspects we could see from our warranty file. So I've uploaded this warranty claim CSV file, and I'm going to ask this question. Okay, it's not that up. Maybe I'll refresh the page. Uh, okay, so I've uploaded the file, and what I'm going to ask is give me some insights and analysis from this file. And again, similar workflow. It is going to read, analyze this file, and based on that, following all the instructions that we have given the GPT, step by step, it is going to follow all of them. It's going to factor in all the conditions that we have put in. And based on that, it is going to give us the response. So now we can see, I asked the bot that give me some insights and analysis from this file. So some of the insights that we see here is display issues and battery issues, top of the list. Again, this is a warranty claim file, which means we have all the warranty and issue raised data from here. We had some connectivity problems, had 50% repair approval rate. Battery issues had highest total denial rate, 70.5%, out of which 617, roughly 17% were due to physical damage, etc., etc. So you can see that these questions are generally traditionally being answered by a data analyst. So in this case, we have created a virtual data analyst who is addressing all these questions. And it just took me a couple of minutes to set this up. The only requirement that we had was a paid ChatGPT account, some instructions, and some data. And then we started right away with a very knowledgeable, very skilled virtual data analyst. Another question that I asked is root cause flagging per SKU or issue type. So if you see, it understands the query very well. And then the answers that you see are very much grounded from the file. The specific question that I asked was, what was the root cause flagging per SKU? And it said battery issues. And this is the specific SKUs, likely an audio device, battery issues, 45% in all of its claims. So if I want, I can also explore more capabilities of this bot. If you remember, we have also given capabilities of generating charts and graphs. So I'll ask this question and then see if this data analyst virtual GPT can create any charts or bar graphs as well from the data we uploaded. We are anyway close to the end of our webinar. So we are going to see two more questions, and then, we'll see some key takeaways and then open the panel for Q&A. Okay, we can see some very nice charts and graphs that have been prepared in very less time, a couple of seconds only. You could see, if I maximize this, these are the warranty issues by product categories. And then next we have the warranty claim outcomes. And then we can see the trend as well over time about our warranty issues. So again, very nice. And this is the last example that we're going to cover, is export these visuals into presentation deck or report. So I'll just hit enter and then see if our data analyst GPT can do this or not. So again, the only recommendation that I would have for all of the audiences is this is just one use case that we are covering up. Just like this, you can think of n number of use cases. Today we just covered a support chatbot and a data analyst chatbot. You might have a different use case. So when you go to the GPT section, you will see different use cases, maybe a content writer one, maybe a marketing assistant. You can have your bots pre-configured, keep their knowledge grounded, have it follow instructions, and then leverage its capabilities into your productivity or into your business use case. So we'll give it a couple of seconds. And I can see that it has created the presentation deck um, as well. So it is following all the instructions very nicely. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. We'll head to the presentation deck again. So now we have covered everything. We are also going to see some limitation of these as well. Again, if anyone had any questions, please free to put them into the chat, and then Joshua will be answering them. So let's quickly take a look at the limitations that these GPT may have. We've all seen the capabilities, the advantages, but it also comes with their own limitations as well. So the first step is the data privacy. We are connecting external systems. We only saw uploading the files, but we can also have it connect to external APIs and then external data sources as well. And sometimes it can put sensitive information at risk if not handled properly. And then API comes with its own rate limits and costs. So the more we upload, it can sometimes slow things down or increase the expenses. And then these custom GPT, another limitation that they have is they tend to work best in their specific niche. They may not give great answers outside that domain. We've already seen that if I try to ask any of the questions outside its specific domain, it is not going to perform well. So we need to keep that in mind, that they are built for specific purpose, specific niche, and only to be used for that purpose. And the other limitation that they have is they require frequent updates. So these assistants, need always fresh data. They always need monitoring to keep themselves accurate. And then finally, one of the limitations that I might just flag is once we are building more advanced custom actions or API integrations, that sometimes take a bit of tech know-how, and then bugs can pop up along the way. So it's very, very important that we take care of that as well. So it requires some advanced capabilities as we progress with more and more advanced use cases. So keeping all these points will help you get the most values from these GPTs while avoiding all the surprises that we may get. So let's have a look at the key takeaways, what we have taken up so far, what we have learned. So, well, now to wrap up, here are some of the key takeaways that we need to keep in mind when building custom GPTs. First is we need to always tailor our GPT to the specific needs. We've already discussed that it needs to be specific to our domain so that we can get the best results out of it. And then we need to make sure that we always use high quality and relevant data. So garbage in, garbage out philosophy applies here. So if I'm feeding unnecessary documents, most likely my responses and my GPT is going to perform inaccurately because of that. So I need to make sure that I'm ingesting quality data into the GPT. Another key takeaway that we might see is we can leverage clear and detailed custom instructions. The third point that I'm talking about here is we need to tailor the GPT's behavior, to go very, very precisely, which is why it is very, very important that we always, give the instructions. We always tune the behavior of our GPT very precisely so that it can follow the appropriate instructions. And then one of that is evaluating when to build versus using general AI. So we need to test, iterate, refine our model regularly based on feedbacks and real use cases. For example, we have used the two bots here. You will get the links and then you can interact with the bot and then see what can be improved in that, or if a different use case can be built altogether. So also we need to think carefully about when a custom GPT is necessary versus just using general AI. So if my queries are very, very general, I'll probably go with general chat GPT, conversational chat. But if my use case is very specific to a business or to a productivity, then I might just switch to the use cases that we have seen. And lastly, but not very least, uh, data privacy is very, very crucial. Keeping data privacy and security front and center always. So especially when handling sensitive information or user uploaded files. So following these will help you build effective, reliable, and safe GPT assistants that can truly add value into your day-to-day operations. So with that, I'll conclude everything in today's session. We have a couple of minutes still left. So I'll open up the panel for Q&A. And Joshua can also open up poll. Um, and if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Either me or Joshua will try to address that. And Joshua, if you could open up the poll, that'll be great.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Rich, for an interesting session. We've had quite a number of questions and I've answered most of them. And while I go to address some of the questions, I'll just quickly put up the poll now to get your feedback on the webinar and areas we can improve on the webinar as well. So while that is going on, there was an important question from someone who said, so can we share Google Doc link to the GPT and then update the Google Doc from time to time and expect the custom GPT to be able to update information simultaneously? And personally, I haven't seen that that possibility of being able to upload a Google Doc link to the custom GPTs and as a knowledge base. But you can do that within your chats on ChatGPT as a project. And I'll just quickly share my screen to show how you can do that. Allow.
I think for this specific use case, linking a Google Doc, it's possible. And if you remember when we were creating the GPTs into that
Yeah.
configuration, you will see actions as well. So in that actions, it gives you the ability to connect external systems. So that would require, some API establishment, API configuration knowledge, and then
Okay.
a
Can you see
bridge.
my screen? I'll just quickly run through that because for actions. Okay, so explore. Let's go through. If you click on create, because actions was so if you click on action, it wants you to create to create an authentication, import URL of this open AI schema instruction. And then you can also impute a privacy link that you want to always show to users during interaction. So they can click on that link. So that link could be leading to your company website or something for the privacy policy, but you can't exactly you can't exactly impute a Google Drive link for it to serve as your knowledge base. But if you go to project over here, if you click on new projects, and let's say for example investing, and you create projects, you should be able to over here connect it to your add from Google Drive. So you should be able to add documents from your Google Drive to serve as your knowledge base for that project. But then that would be for use within your organization, but you can share the chat link to an external person to be able to interact with that project. But it doesn't exactly work like the custom GPTs. But yeah, it would be very useful as well. If you rather want to have your knowledge base saved on a Google Drive, then you can use this option whereby you can add from OneDrive or you can add from Google Drive. You can also use the web search option or Google Drive or Canva as well. So you can do that via a project. And then somebody also asked a question if you can create custom GPTs on Llama or Gemini. So I haven't really explored it on Llama, but you can do that on Gemini. Can we see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, so you can do that on Gemini as well, whereby you can go to explore gems over here. You can go to explore gems and you can create your own gem, new gem over here. Yeah, so you see it's similar to ChatGPTs as well, whereby you can impute the name, the description, the instruction, and you can add the knowledge. So for Gemini, you can add the knowledge from a drive. For Gemini, you can add it from a drive. But for ChatGPT, you have to do that within the project. Then another source is POE.com. So in POE.com, you can also explore different kind of custom GPTs as well. And if you want to create yours, you can create your own custom. So over here, someone was also asking about image generation bot, if you could do that within the initial bot you were creating. So you have to prompt it to be an image generation bot. So in POE.com, you can have a prompt bot, you can have an image generation bot, a video generation bot, role play bots, Canvas app, and server bots. So for example, prompt bots. So you just need to, type the bot's name, the description, the behavior. On POE.com, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini, you can use Claude. So POE has a different kind of bots. You can use video generation bots if you're creating a video generation custom GPT, and you can input the prompt here, and you can also monetize it. I think GPT, you can also monetize on GPT as well, but I don't know about Gemini. But I'm very conversant with monetizing on POE, whereby people can subscribe to your bot. You can get paid when people interact with your bot. Yeah. So that answers some of the questions that I didn't fully answer.
And I might just answer one question that someone has asked. As the owner of custom GPT, can you track what questions other are asking? Is this data stored?
No, yeah, you
You
won't
do
be
not
able
have
to.
direct visibility or tracking of the specific questions that other ask in using your GPT, especially when it's published publicly or shared with specific people. So the system does not store or share individual user queries with the GPT owner. Joshua, any other questions that have gone unanswered?
Yeah, so I've answered most of the key questions. So some of the question that was also asked, I think a couple of persons asked that question, is if the custom GPTs can be embedded on an external website. And as a, as far as I know, that's not possible for you to embed a custom GPT on personal website. You can only you can only access the OpenAI developer platform and use that as a bot on your personal website. But you can't create a custom GPT and embed it on your personal website. You can only share the link with users, and they have to interact on the ChatGPT interface.
All right.
Yeah, so Olivia has a question. She said she said thank you both for your help. Great session. Yeah, thank you, Olivia. And she's asking if POE is something you have to pay for. Yes, you have to pay for POE for you to be able to create your own bot on it. You can use bot for free. I think you get about 3,000 I've forgotten what they call it, 3,000 points a month for you to interact with various bots. But for you to be able to create your own bot, you have to subscribe. I think it's about 22 euros as well. Because on POE, you can monetize your bots. People can subscribe to your bot for $20 one off or $100 if they subscribe for a year. So POE gives you, access to all the LLMs, but the capability is not strong as when you are using them on their main platform. And someone is asking for your email and my email. Yeah, so Rich email, you can get Rich's email from the notification you got when you subscribed for the webinar, and you're also going to get his email as well when he sends you a follow-up email tomorrow. So I'll just drop my own email for you now in the
So,
chat.
lastly, I will just reiterate if no one has any questions, and I can see we are a little over time.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, please put them here, or you can always email us, and then we'll be happy to address them over email as well. So, lastly, again, thank you all of you for joining in. It was indeed an absolute pleasure hosting all of you, and then interacting with the bots, and then it's always a pleasure, showing these AI capabilities to everyone. And then we'll be more happy, if all of you start using these capabilities into your day-to-day work. If you have any specific use case, please feel free to reach out to us via email for your business. And make sure you follow us on LinkedIn. webinars like this and any updates that we might be coming, you'll always be stay tuned. So please feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. Every month we host a webinar, and if you have any topic that you want to suggest, you can do so as well. You can message us on LinkedIn or you can email us as well. Again, thank you all of you for joining in. Thank you, Joshua, as well.
Thank you, Rich. And thank you, Hugh and Connor, who are also, on the meeting. They were available to also answer some of the questions.
Yeah. And since we know we after the end of the session, we'll send you the required documents and all the helpful resources regarding building your own GPT. So you'll hopefully get this by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks,
I
everyone.
guess, yeah, that's
Thank
all for
you.
now.
See you
Thank you,
in our
everyone.
next
See you
webinar.
again.